Anyways, moving on to the noticeable buff section is techies. Okay, I know you guys are kind of rolling your eyes or laughing here, but I think the increase in the fact that you actually get EXP when they run into your mines, any mines, it doesn't have to be ulti, just your landmines or ulti, makes him, I don't know, I would think he's competitive worthy now. I would make the leap to say that. Yeah, totally increase the viability. You can make him as your fifth pick and kind of make your team go like, what the fuck? I mean, techies really one of scariest thing about techies in a a pro player's hand is that you're kind of afraid to go into river now. You're kind of afraid to go up ramps because you don't ever know where four landmines waiting for you. And really, a techie, being missing on the map is just as scary as Nerubian missing on the map because you don't know where the hell he's planning his mine. And the fact that he can actually catch up in level now doesn't make him, lose his late game mid game abilities. And the scary thing about Techie is that if he ever farms up his Aghanim Scepter, he's one hell ass scary team fight ability. Just dropping his nukes from like I don't know 1,000 range and just dropping 8 to 600 AOE damage. That's a lot of stuff, and you can't really kill him if he's playing smart. If he's out of position, he's always level 1 suicide and just deny you any XP or anything like that. So it's just in my fanboy heart, I'm hoping techies will come back. Well, not come back, just enter into the competitive scene. Just kind of a surprise fifth pick, or just run a funny strat. And hopefully, I'm gonna cast some techies game in the future, and let's see if pros would do anything about it. And really, things like this is a lot of popularity. A lot of Dota heroes are picked because they're popular. A lot of Dota heroes are not picked because they're popular or unpopular. So I'm just hoping that Techie will be one of those popular heroes that do get a lot of playing time. And another thing I want to talk about is Terrorblade. Before 6.67, we call him Terror Bad. Now we call him like terrifying, I think. Soul Steel with his huge buff. Now you could. I actually played a lot of Terrorblade games lately, because I've been leveling Soul Steel max at 7. And really, with the right lineup, you could get a lot of early kills. One of the best games I had with Terrorblade was the Dazzle support. Poison Touch. I just get Soul Steel and just right click, and that's pretty much all you need to do. Of course, you can't do it against a Sven Witch Doctor lane. You gotta play smart. However, it gives him a bit more early game that he sorely needs. And another thing about Terrorblade is that he is now choke point jungleable. And if you remember, your noob and I has a video on choke point jungling with Nyx. You could do a Terrorblade too. Of course, it requires a bit more challenging. It requires a bit more micro because Feast is kind of imba in that department. Terrorblade, you could choke point jungle now, so he doesn't have to lane. He could just pop out in jungle. I haven't tried Terrorblade too much, but the best item build I found is 4 GG branch, a stout shield, and a couple of sets of tangles. That's the best set of item build I have tried. I encourage you to try it out yourself because Terrorblade, really cool, one of the really cool heroes out there. Now, just to go a little bit into the extreme here, the Soul Steel max at level 7 has a 1,280 swing damage. What that means is that if you basically get your Soul Steel max duration, it will heal you for 640 damage, and you'll damage them for 640 damage. So that's a lot of damage, a swing at level 7. So I mean, later game is not going to do as much. However, throughout early games where you're kind of getting ganked or you're trying to get a lane kill, it will work wonders. The next hero I'm talking about is Tree, and he received quite a big buff. The buff comes in the form of Sentinel and replace Eyes in the Forest, but it's way better, way better. It loses the True Sight ability. However, it has increased ganking potential. It has increased stunning potential, and it does a lot. If you don't know what Sentinel does, go to the forums and read up what the exact changelog is. But really, it does 3 things extremely well. First, it does crazy map hacks, and it comes in a 40-second cooldown at level 4 and a 900 cast range. So you can really bunker down a certain lane, a certain forest really, really well. You can really avoid ganks extremely well. And they aren't really counterable in the sense that you could just use observer wards and kill it, because you can actually cast them on trees, and it makes it really hard for the other team to kill them, even if you have observer wards. Second, you have a counter gank. Now, the Sentinel comes in 2 forms. It comes into a invisible form and visible form. Invisible form has a 500 sight range, whereas visible forms basically hits the first thing it sees, and it doesn't really have that big of sight range. However, if you think about it, every lane there's only like 2 or 3 ways, 2 or 3 entrances to gank that lane. Imagine you have a site, you have a sentinel just in those three entrance area, and basically you can either keep it in sentinel form or invisible form where you're not going to get ganked in any way possible because you can see them coming, or you could keep it in visible form where it'll just attack whoever's coming, preferably a hero, right? So like it'll just stun whoever's coming, or you could have sight of them coming. Imagine that. Keep in mind the fact that you have nature's guys, you have overgrowth. That's a lot of power just to just stay in lane or to avoid ganks. And also you have true armor or whatever that crazy ass armor is. You have infinite regen almost. The only thing that's a problem now is the cooldown of the sentinel, which could be long. The casting time is quite a bit hefty in the earlier stages. Also, Treant doesn't have the biggest mana pool, but like really, I think to make a lane ungankable is just a hard thing to fathom. You need like blinkers to blink in to do anything, but like it doesn't matter. You're probably like near tower or something. Like imagine you have 3 or 4 of these guys at bottom sentinel like lane. There's really nothing you can do, and Treant could do it for himself. And the crazy thing is, Treant could do it for another hero on his team. Like imagine an ungankable Void or an ungankable Troll Warlord. Like I think that may lead to some imbalance in Dota. So let's see what Ice Rock's gonna do about it. Of course, it's not available in Captain mode for a good reason. So we'll see what Ice Rock is gonna do about it. Right now, it's quite imbalanced. All right, if you thought Treant was a bit imbalanced, the remake of Death Pack on Cleanse is also very, very imbalanced. Now, the old Death Pack just basically kill and creep and heals it. Now the new backpack also does that, but also increase your HP capacity and give you damage of the creep you just killed. So a level 6 cleanse runs into the forest. If you kill a centaur, you will get plus 550 HP. You will get 65 damage. This is just level 6 ultimate, by the way. And the bad thing is that it only lasts like 35 seconds. But 35 seconds, you can actually do a lot. I mean, because most team fights are done in 35 seconds, and most any pushes are pretty much determined or done in 35 seconds. And that's only level 1 ultimate. Now, if instead of a Sunshine you kill just a creep in lane, if you're getting ganked or somewhat, you'll get 175 HP, not bad, level 1 ultimate, and you get plus 32 damage. You want to do a counter gank in return. So imagine this late game. I mean, imagine keep in mind that your flame arrows give you plus 50 free damage already. So at level 7, you get around plus 115 damage without anything, just your flame arrows, just a death pack on a centaur. That's a fucking lot of damage. Level 7, 115. I'll let you keep in mind. I mean, a late game blown fetcher, like just go on a back door, you kill a creep, you turn on flame arrows. Like you could basically do the most insane DPS. I think Dusty have to move over in terms of the best DPS hero. Maybe, I don't know. Of course, there's a lot of other possibilities out there. So I just mostly a death pack centaur or a creep. Generally, or maybe a Walken, things like that. I just play with. The HP is also quite a bonus. Bone Cleanse sucks because he has no HP. Now he has a 500 HP buffer. He could just focus on DPS items straight out. So I mean, Bone Cleanse, I believe he's in Crystal Maiden mode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, double check right now. No, he's not. He's taken out, and thank God. Like he is gonna be tearing things up. He's currently not in CM mode. Maybe the numbers of the death pack has to be changed a little bit. I love the concept of it though. Free damage, free HP, everything that Bone needs, and it's right there. So in pubs, try it out. It's gonna be crazy. It's also in the imbalanced level of a Treant sort of in there. So go play it. It's a lot of plus damage, a lot of HP, really, really crazy stuff. And the final thing I want to talk about is Magnus. So Tie Hunter out, maybe Magnus in, not sure about that. The old days Magnus solo mid and went for that bottle and basically shockwave to control the lane. Now he could still do the same. It's not out there. However, he's not just a one-hit wonder with the ultimate now. He could participate in mid-game ganks. His skewers kind of need some position, need some require maybe a ally chain stun. But you could get two heroes into your ultimate really easily, provided you land the skewer first. Late game, of course, his ultimate is still there. Dagger will really help. Early game shockwaves will help to get the dagger, but his empower is just insane. Okay, it gives you plus damage, same thing as ult empower, but it also gives cleave to whoever he class empowers. Only to melee heroes, but I'll let you think of the possibilities. Maybe Ursa empowered, cleaving. Imagine his ultimate with Ursa cleaving like that. Something very scary. I'll just let you imagine whoever could cleave as a melee hero and then do the most like crazy stuff. So Magnus, maybe the next topic.